Howdy folks, Dr. Ed here with Total Body Healthcare, and I've got your Whiteboard Wednesday poster thought of the week. We're continuing our journey around the office here, talking about the different posters that are on the wall. And honestly, this one is probably one of my favorites, even though out of all the different posters, it probably gets the least amount of attention. The reason I like it is it talks about a lot of the terms that are maybe a little bit unique to chiropractic, or we certainly have a way of explaining a little bit differently, maybe to plant a little bit different seed in your head. So I thought we'd cover some of those terms that are on the poster here. Let's start with the top left up there. Innate is what we call it. Innate intelligence is actually what it's referred to most of the time in chiropractic. And that is the intelligence that God built into your body to run your body. Did you ever think about it? You never had to learn how to beat your own heart. It happened automatically. You never learned how to produce liver enzymes or stomach acid. You didn't have to learn how to manufacture ATP so that you can make some energy. That all happens innately in your body, and that innate intelligence is built into us. Primarily, it's housed in your central nervous system, particularly in the brain. The innate intelligence that controls your body then sends those signals down through the spinal cord, through your nervous system, and out to the different body parts so that your body can function like it's supposed to. Innate intelligence expression can get interrupted through the subluxations, the partial misalignments of the vertebra that we adjust as chiropractors. That then sets your body into a state of dis-ease, is what we call it, which is the opposite of ease. Most people, we all talk about diseases, right? Like there's heart disease and cancer and all kinds of different diseases, if you will. Did you ever think about what the opposite of disease is? Well, it would be ease. Obviously, take off the dis, it would be ease. And that's what chiropractors really try to focus on is restoring that ease into your body the way God designed it to be. He designed us to be perfect. If you think about it, when you think about it scripturally, our bodies were designed to be perfect. We let different things into our lives that cause us to not be perfect, and that affects our health as well. So that state of ease is the way we were designed to be. So that's what we try to get back to through the chiropractic adjustment. We lose that state of ease. Another way to think about ease is the ability to adapt to your environment around. The better that you can adapt to your environment, the more state of ease that your body will exist in. Well, we lose that adaptability because of the stresses that are in our lives, physical, chemical, emotional. We've talked about it many, many times on our videos in the past. You can also think of it in terms of the 3 T's, if it helps you remember, because of the 3 T's: thoughts, traumas, and toxins. That's another way to think about the physical, chemical, emotional stresses that are in our life. But when those stresses build and build and build and build, finally they get to a point where our nervous system they can't handle it anymore. And that's what puts us into a state of dis-ease, lack of ease. In other words, we dis-ease. And if you stay in a state of dis-ease for long enough, you will then become diseased. So that's kind of the process. Chiropractic tries to restore you back to your state of ease the way God built us. What else do we have up here? So your nervous system has a certain tone to it. It has a certain vibrational frequency to it as well. We've talked about this with the electrical signals traveling down through your nervous system. That's what creates that vibrational frequency. When the subluxation occurs, it's like putting a guitar out of tune. The guitar's not going to sound right like it's supposed to. If you're out of tone in your nervous system, you're not going to be functioning right either. Health. So many people, we don't think about health as far as how we function. We think about how we feel. Well, that can be a little bit on the dangerous side, because sometimes you don't feel anything when you're not healthy, such as high blood pressure. It's called the silent killer for a reason. However, the opposite side of it is you may not feel very good at all if you stub your toe in the middle of the night. You obviously feel pretty bad. However, you're not necessarily unhealthy because you stubbed your toe. So health is it says here, wholeness, optimal physical, mental, and social well-being. In other words, how you're feeling has very little to do with all of that. It's how you're functioning. And that's what chiropractic tries to help restore is improved function. And the last one on the poster here is an adjustment. That, of course, is the physical procedure that I do with my patients. I am adjusting their nervous system to help reestablish the proper tone in it so that their body can get back to a state of ease. There are different terms that people come in here. They say, "Doc, can you pop me today?" Or they'll say, "Hey, my neck needs cracking." If you think about this, if I cracked your neck, wouldn't that be kind of bad for my malpractice? Yeah, exactly. The term is adjustment, and I'm a little picky about that. Some people, they make fun of me, but that is one that I do like to make sure that you understand is that it's an adjustment. It's not a manipulation. Think about the way we use the terms is really, really important. Think about this. If you have an opinion on a certain subject matter, and that opinion is based on incorrect data, would you rather have your opinion adjusted using the correct data, or would you rather have your thinking manipulated? Nobody wants to be manipulated. Whether it's at the car dealership or at the chiropractic office, you don't want to be manipulated. You'd rather be adjusted because it's a lot more specific. Hopefully that helps clear up some of the terms. Pay attention to this poster the next time you're in the office here. I think it's got a lot of great information on it. I'm Dr. Ed with Total Body Healthcare, and there is your Whiteboard Wednesday poster thought of the week.